Hello, good afternoon, and happy Sunday, everybody. Thank you for being so patient. Welcome to Here to Bloom. This is episode number 11. I know, 11. And this is a show for seekers and learners just like you and me. And my name is Deidrey Francois. Today is a blessing, and I am absolutely thrilled to have you here with me. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, everybody. So glad you could join me today. Thank you so much. This day is a blessing. This day is a gift. This day is healing. As I look for the good in it, this day is a blessing. This day is a gift. This day is healing. As I look for the good in it. Oh, I look for the good in this blessing of the day. I focus my attention to the wonder of this blessed day. I'm grateful, positive, inspired. I'll seize the day. Today is a blessing of the day. Are you feeling blessed today? This day is a blessing. This day is a gift. This day is healing. As I look for the good in it, this day is a blessing. Can you feel it? This day is a gift. This day is healing. As I look for the good in it. Hi, Tina. Hi, Ann. Hi, Dolphin. Hi, everybody. I look for the good in this blessing of the day. I focus my attention to the wonder of this blessed day. I am grateful, positive, inspired. I'll seize the day. Today is the blessing of the day. I am grateful, positive, inspired. I'll seize the day. Grateful, positive. Come on now. Inspired. What is the blessing for you today? How about the week? Have you had a good week? Blessing. How are you doing today? It's so good to have you here. Focus my attention. Are you feeling blessed and grateful? Blessed day. I am grateful, positive, inspired. I'll seize the day. Today is the blessing of the day. Oh yes, today is the blessing of the day. I hope you can feel it. If you look all around you, you will see there are many things to be grateful for today. Welcome everybody. I am so blessed with your presence here today. Thank you so much for being here. You are the reason that I keep going, and I thank you to all of those who participated last week for your shares and your comments and your likes. And speaking of shares, I do need your help. As usual, every week, I do need your help. And if you would take a moment, and when you see, wherever you see that share button on your screen, if you could hit that share button and send it to a friend or so, maybe perhaps next time invite someone over to the show, because I can only do it with your help. That's the truth. You know what I'm saying? It is my intention to share my gift of song and poetry, my love and my passion. And I ask that it be done without judgment, that it be done in humility and grace, and that it be done in love and light. I am truly blessed with each and every one of you. This next song I'm going to do is called Wherever You Lead Me. And it was played by Bobby. Oh my gosh, Bobby all the way out in, where are you, Bobby? Quebec. Thank you so much for playing so beautifully on this. Wherever you lead me, I will follow. Whatever you desire, I will oblige. Anytime or space, anywhere or place, just to feel your glow on my face. Good to have you here. Whatever you call me, I will listen from my heart. However you need me, I live for you. Anytime or space, absolute joy to your heart today. And I feel your glow on my face. June 5th, there was a call for a peaceful protest organized in Toronto. And as my daughter scrolled, she came across an invitation for a planned riot. You see, that riot was planned by those who thrive on chaos. And while we gaze in disgust at all the looters and the arsonists, the peaceful protesters are ignored, and their pleas go unheard and unseen as we focus on the distraction and not the issue. You see, we become like sheep herded towards what makes the loudest noise. Today, my theme is on distractions. And although I will not necessarily be speaking on the topic of racial divide, because I already discussed that last week, but what is interesting is I saw so many responses to some posts that were all over social media, and it inspired this topic of distractions. What I offer, as usual, are my experiences and information that I've collected along the way and learned along the way. And in the last few weeks, I'm sure you've noticed all of the craziness that's happening that we've been seeing all over the news, right? And it's kind of been a little bit of a trying week, sometimes emotionally, and trying to come to terms with all of the financial craziness and the repercussions of this COVID business. And, my worries because of what's happening in the world around us, my worries as for my children as they're growing up, in sort of this Black intolerant society, and all of the protests that have brought out really a humongous outpouring of love and awesomeness. Yeah. But it also has also brought out the best, and so it's brought out the best and also the worst in many people. But again, this is not a topic on racial divide. This is not what it is about at all. Not even a little bit. Many of us posted, messages about coming together in the protests. Many of us celebrated this global shift that we're experiencing. Like, this is worth celebrating. But then there are those that found it necessary to discredit almost every single post that mentioned anything that was significant to the point of all of these protests or whatever is happening. You know, people mentioning points that are completely insignificant and off topic to the message. For example, a post on women being sexually assaulted became more about the way women dressed. You heard that. A post about women being sexually assaulted became about the way women dress. The protest that's been happening all over about the lives of Black people became more about money and an organization than about the lives that are seeking equality in the first place. The post about a partner not feeling heard and respected in her relationship became about men are lazy and they never do anything. Can you imagine if we lived in a world where what we heard was spoken, where what we saw was shown, where what we took was given, where what we felt was known? Can you imagine a world where love is unconditionally gifted, where truth is freely expressed, where pain is always comforted, and where blame and shame was never felt? Can you imagine a world where hope was a thing to trust and believe, where compassion always won, where life was enough of a reason to live, and where humanity's light still shone? Imagine a world with people of integrity, expressing all the truth within. Imagine a world seeking only peace and harmony, encouraging our hearts to sing. Oh, 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 it's already here. The world we seek is oh so clear. It's all about the choice today to see this world that turns to love and not to fear. This world is ours to live and share. Imagine a world that expresses love and kindness, riches shared abundantly. Imagine a world where precious moments are timeless and all of us are blessed and free. Oh, it's already here. The world we seek is oh so clear. It's all about the choice today to see this world that turns to love and not to fear. This world is ours How many times have you and I had a conversation that was about one topic, and one of us brings up something that is completely off topic? Or we hone in on just that one word that is said that allows the conversation to shift and become something completely outside of the point. I mean, we all do this. We all do it. I came to realize, in just thinking about all of the ways that people answered posts over the last little while, I've just been looking at that and just analyzing how we take in information and how we respond to it. And I came to realize that there's something really interesting going on about the way that we handle information. Distraction. A distraction is a thing that prevents someone from giving full attention to something else. A distraction is also defined as an extreme agitation of the mind or emotions that are caused by the lack of ability to pay attention, or the lack of interest in the object of attention, or the great intensity or novelty or attractiveness of something other than the actual object of attention. Distractions come from both internal and external sources. Would you agree with that? That distractions can be something that comes from within us, or it could be something that comes from around us, external. And I would love to hear your ideas, and if you have any comments, please do share, because I would love to know what you're thinking. Distractions, for example. Like you're working really diligently on finding ideas for some work, issue, for example, right? And you're facing this challenge at work, and you got to come up with a solution, and you're thinking hard about it, and all of a sudden, out of the corner of your eye, your neighbor comes out shirtless. And all of a sudden, it's like, I have a problem? I have a challenge? Who cares? Right? And then there's the internal ones. Now that's an external distraction. Or, we're having a conversation with somebody, and then it's like, oh, look at that. That's such a pretty bird. Did you see that? That's so pretty. Or the other one, squirrel. Oh my goodness. Internal distractions can look like this, where, for example, you're planning an event, right? We're planning an event. If it's a dinner party, if it's I know right now that we can't plan very much, but I know life is starting to get back to somewhat of a, normal. But, we're planning a party, we're planning an event, planning something, and then early in the morning, you get a phone call from someone that says, I can't make it anymore. I'm sorry, I won't be able to make it. Right? And then a little bit just before the event, you get another phone call. And that person says, I'm so sorry. You know what? My car broke down and I won't be able to come, or something's come up. And immediately what that does is it starts to trigger fears inside of us, right? And it starts to trigger fears that maybe I'm not good enough. Oh my gosh, maybe no one will come. Maybe nobody actually wants to spend time with me, right? And that can be immobilizing at times. The world thrives on distractions, doesn't it? We do. We really thrive on distractions. Man, we use it as therapy sometimes. Good Lord. The world thrives on distractions. And companies spend a lot of money, let me tell you, on resources and devices and opportunities to provide us with that distraction, let me tell you. And distractions, they are normal. Yes, they're very normal. But it does beg the question of why are we so willingly giving into them? And why do we avoid the issue itself? Why are we not leaning towards a more solution-focused mindset where we look at the issue and we start to discuss the issue and the solutions or the ideas around the issue rather than all of the other stuff. You see, a solution-focused mindset means that there is an end to the narrative, right? We acknowledge, I'm in muddy water right now. This is my issue, I'm in muddy water. I accept the challenge of that, and then I ask, well, what is mine to do? What is mine to do, right? That's right, Dolphin. Gossip is distraction. It really is, you know? So, and then we look, okay, well, what materials? So now we're focused on the issue. So what materials can I use to get myself out of this muddy water? You know, can I build a raft? Can I jump across it? Right? We're focused on getting to a resolution. And that is the playground for a solution-focused mind. But many of us don't go there. Why do we not go to the solution? Or why do we not focus on the issue? Why do we cling to the distractions instead of facing it head on? Because I think it triggers fear, it triggers discomfort, it triggers anxiety, it triggers pain. It triggers past experiences that we have not yet healed from. It triggers things we thought we had a handle on. We thought we had buried, you know, deep in the recesses of our minds. It triggers panic that if we truly engage in the issue at hand, that somehow this will create an even bigger issue for us. Facing the issue head on means that we are admitting that there is a problem. And that admonition, well, it means that we can no longer be in denial. And denial is great, because it allows us to stay in the rut we're in. It doesn't matter how uncomfortable it is, right? Stepping outside of that rut demands that we remember, right? That we remember that we actually have control of our own lives, and we can decide what to let into our lives and what to not, what to let go of, what to keep. This is a great song by Anthony Burbidge. And I just talked to him this morning. Hi, Anthony! And Anthony Burbidge and the very awesome Eddie Watkins. So I'm going to sing their song because I just love them. And I just love this song. So this one is called I Decide. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in. I decide what's got to go. Yes, I'm the one with the power to choose every thought and every belief. Oh, I'm the one, no, with a voice inside that has the power to set me free. And I say, I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. Yes, I'm the only one who knows what's true, 'cause the true self that lives in me. Yes, I'm the only one who's ever gonna know what my body, mind, and soul really need. And I say, I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. But every time I forget my own power and start doing what I think I should do, I gotta take a step back, hold my soul in, so I can listen to the voice that's true. And it always says, I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. I decide what to let in, and I decide what's got to go. I decide what matters to me. It's my decision to be in the flow. Oh yes, I decide what to let in. I decide what's got to go. Yes, I decide what matters to me. I decide what matters to me. Yes, I decide what matters to me. That's right. Thank you, Anthony, and thank you, Eddie, for allowing me to use your song today. I really appreciate you, and I bless you, bless you, bless you with a whole bunch of love. All right, before I proceed, let's take care of some mentions, shall we? Let's talk about my website for a moment. And my website, it's www.deidrey.com. And on my website, you will find all kinds of goodies. All kinds of goodies. And you'll also find a place where you can leave me a tip if that is something that is in your means to do. On my website, you'll also find lots of material on some of the other things that I do. For example, singing telegrams, sing at me, and you'll also find information on the private concerts that I do online as well. My singing telegrams are virtual at this moment until the world gets back to somewhat normal, hopefully. Let's also talk about YouTube. If you have not yet subscribed on YouTube, I would be most honored and most grateful if you would take the time and just hit that subscribe button on your screen. There's also a little bell that pops up that says, would you like notifications when Deidrey goes live? And I would thank you very, very much for saying yes to that, so that you will know exactly when I have a bright idea. Huh? And you'll find all kinds of previous shows there. You'll find, the last one I did was called Silence Is, and that was a really good one, so hopefully you'll get to see quite a few. There's Brain Fog, there's all kinds of other ones there. And Facebook, yes. And if you have not hit the like button on Facebook, please do. Please hit the like button on Facebook, because I still do communicate there. And I will be doing more communicating on Facebook as well. But all live shows, I must tell you, will only be on YouTube. Yeah? So if you are able to share the show or share my channel with anyone who you think might actually get some value out of it, I would truly, really, really appreciate it. Yes, I would. And if you have not yet hit the like button on your screen, right where you are, please hit that, smash it for me. Hit that that like button. Oh, I forgot. You know what? There is something that I learned that it's very helpful if you leave me a comment outside of the live chat. So if you can, after the show is done, underneath the video, there will be a part for comments, not where you are right now, which is the live chat, but underneath that, if you can just leave, your feedback, what you thought of the show, anything. It could be 2 words, whatever, just something. Leave me your comments, because they really, really help for the next time in terms of building myself, I guess, in Facebook. So thank you so much. All right. Let's keep going. This song is called Seeds of Change, because again, to be able to get out of that rut, we need to be willing to change. And let's face it, no one likes change. Absolutely nobody. It's true. Do you like change? Do you? I don't know anyone who does. I really don't. Mark Twain says, the only one that likes change is a wet baby. So no matter how beneficial or positive this change may be, the only one who likes it is a wet baby. I celebrate my freedom, no longer need all those heavy burdens, gonna plant new seeds of love. Seeds of change for a brighter, better day. Seeds of love. Every seeds of change for a brighter day. I celebrate my freedom, no longer need all those heavy burdens, gonna plant new seeds of love. Every seeds of change for a brighter day. Seeds of love. Seeds of change for a brighter day. I celebrate my freedom. In this current situation of protests, although many are marching for change, I just was thinking about that. Why are they responding in the way that they're responding? And I came to understand that the reason why we, everybody, and that includes me as well, hone in on the distraction instead of the issue is because we actually don't want the resolution. We don't want the change. And I realized that because we just may not be ready for it. We're just not ready for all of the different factors that go along with it. And as I thought about the protests and their responses, I thought, you know what? Many people are really not ready for this change. They don't want to give up the privilege of being the first pick for employment, or give up the feeling of power and control that is perceived when not treating a woman with dignity and equality. Because there is power in possession. There is power in the possession of a human being as someone to own, to use, and abuse. And maybe we're not ready in our own relationships. We're not ready for that change either. So that's why we can distract, because we create those distractions rather than say to our partners, you know what, I don't feel heard or I don't feel seen in this relationship, and I no longer want that. And you know what, distractions often sound like generalizations. Oh, Lori says she loves change. I like that. I've never met anyone who said that. That's great. This is great. I don't know if I like change. I accept it. I don't know that I like it. I like that. I like that comment. I accept it. I definitely accept it. Change starts with me. Amen. Amen to that. Distractions often sound like generalizations and blanket statements, and you know that you're distracting because you say things like, or we say things like, you know, you always, or they never, or all these people are, or never trust right? Or but, blah, blah, blah. You know, that's what distractions always kind of sound like. And it means that, and if you hear yourself saying those things, it means that we are no longer at the level of the issue, right? We're no longer at the level of the issue or the problem. Instead, we're focusing on discrediting. We're focusing on personal attacks. We're focusing on demeaning and subjugating and devaluing each other. And I mean, I'm sure that we can find many, many examples in our own lives where we might be having an important conversation and we consciously or subconsciously have changed the subject to something that came into mind. And then the way that we say it is, you know, I needed to get this off my chest. Right? I need to get this off my chest. It's like we're talking about, I don't know, something, and it's like all of a sudden it becomes about the socks that were left on the floor. And we make the issue about that thing. But really and truly what we're saying, the truth about what we're saying is, I don't feel comfortable with this conversation. I don't feel comfortable with this conversation. And I don't feel comfortable with the feelings that it is bringing up. And so I will use the distraction so that I can be more emotionally comfortable. So that I can feel more powerful and so that I can feel less vulnerable. In essence, what we're saying is, I'm okay with never having a solution, just so that I can be comfortable. So how do we change that? How do we change that? What are your ideas? That's right. The only thing constant in the universe is change. That is a fact. Yes. Yeah, I accept change, but we definitely use distraction. So how do we focus on the issue and avoid the distractions? I think we have to be willing to be uncomfortable. We have to be okay with it, that some moments in our lives are just not going to feel great. And we have to be okay with that. We have to be okay with being vulnerable. And of course, that just rolled out of my mouth so easily, but let me tell you, it ain't easy. No, it ain't. It's not easy to do that. So I understand. But I will also paraphrase with someone who's wise in my life who said to me at one point that when we feel anxiety about an issue, it is not time for distractions. It's not time to go on Facebook and scroll through every single thing that somebody, that people are saying on your news feed. It's not time to do that. When you feel anxiety about an issue, it is the time to ask further questions. It's the time to start digging deeper. Questions like, you ready? What is it about this problem that is bringing up anxiety for me? What fears are being triggered here? What do I feel like I'm being denied? Do I feel like I have a voice in this matter? Right? Am I afraid to speak up? Or am I afraid of the consequences of speaking up? What do I need to feel safer or better within the issue? Now, I stress on within because it is in the issue we have to understand that we are safe in order for us to actually face it head on, right? Those are questions that we need to ask ourselves before we can speak on the issue with that individual so that we can explore solutions. And most often, the reality that we are trying to avoid by coming to a solution is the fear of the unknown. Fear of the unknown. Oh my God. Or fear of stating and enforcing our boundaries. Because, of course, we don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. And I think a lot of times we're just not being clear about what our boundaries are or what we want. It's always fear. Fear, fear, fear. Why are we so afraid to live our own lives? This next song, I cannot sing it because I recorded it with about 25 different voices of mine. So it's not so easy to sing. So I will play it for you. It is a very theatrical song, and it is one of the ones that I plan to use in one day. Hopefully I will get to that place where I can have that play. That is called Out of the Darkness and Into the Light. And this one is from that series of songs that I wrote, and it's called The Dance of Fear.
Hello. I have seen you somewhere, someplace before. I know you all too well. I have felt this discomfort, this familiar stare. Seen those eyes as they gather into a narrow glare, like the expanse of an arrow rearranges into a piercing tip. Yes, this is fear.
This is fear.
It is the sting of the dance of fear.
Why are we so afraid to live our own lives?
Even though I run, I cower under pressure, lost in oppression, stumbling in this direction. I succumb to depression, regression. I deny my potential. I feel lost, confused, unworthy. And it's so easy to stay here in my fear.
It is, isn't it?
Here where there's no sunrise, here where it's borderline. petrified of my life. Too afraid to think, afraid to feel, afraid to reveal, afraid of what you might think, afraid to start, afraid to stop, afraid to stand out, too afraid to conform, afraid to give up, yet afraid to keep going. I'm afraid of my independence. I'm afraid of my shackles. Afraid to speak.
What are you afraid of?
Did I say too much? Did I not explain myself enough? Afraid. 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 I'm so afraid of everything. Fear. Afraid to be me.
Solutions can be looked at as either the end of a problem or the beginning of another. And if you see it as the beginning of a problem, then we do tend to resort to distractions. And I thought, this is the best song that I could find that really, really talks about that well. And it's called Sitting on the Dock of a Bay. It's the Otis Redding song.
Sitting in the morning sun, I'll be sitting when the evening comes, watching the ships roll in, and I'll watch them roll away again. No, I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Oh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. I left my home in Georgia, headed for the Frisco Bay, 'cause I've got nothing to live for, and it looks like nothing's gonna come my way. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Oh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. Looks like nothing's gonna change. Everything still remains the same. I can do what people tell me to do, so I guess I'll remain the same. Sitting here resting my bones, this loneliness won't leave me alone. 2,000 miles I've roamed just to make this dock my home. So I'm just gonna sit on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away. Ooh, sitting on the dock of the bay, wasting time. So, if we have that conversation with ourselves about what it is that we need to feel safe and feel heard, when we are clear in our minds about what it is that we want and we are able to set our own boundaries, then the solution-focused mind really becomes accessible. And the solution-focused mind is no longer a threat. So here's my 2 cents. I think we must be willing to be vulnerable and uncomfortable. Yeah? We must be willing to be vulnerable and uncomfortable. Because anxiety does hold many, many gifts that we must be brave enough to discover
We have to discover what it is that our spirits really, really need. We have to be willing to be heard and to be seen, to give voice to our desires in a very clear and direct manner that addresses the real issue at heart. We need to ask ourselves, what result am I looking for from this individual that I'm having this conversation with or this situation? And how will it resolve the real issue? And then we can begin to craft our statements and questions from that place of awareness. I think we need to create safety for ourselves, about being clear about our boundaries and enforcing it, which sometimes means that we have to pull out of a conversation that has become about distractions rather than the real issue. And we need to keep a keen eye on the issue. We really need to keep a keen eye on the issue. Don't bend, don't be manipulated, stand firm in the reason why you're having this conversation in the first place, and not the distraction. Because the distractions are weaknesses of the mind. So I'm going to end with this song, and then we'll do our usual ending. I just want to do this one. It's called I Can See Clearly Now, and it's Jimmy Cliff. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me down. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh yes, I can make it now. The past is gone, and all of the bad feelings have disappeared. Oh, here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Are you ready to look around? Look all around. There's nothing but blue sky. And look straight ahead. Nothing but blue sky. That's what happens when we focus on the issue. And we're not distracted by all the goings on around us. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. And I can see all the obstacles in my way. Here is the rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Oh, it's gonna be bright, bright, sunshiny day. I just want to take the opportunity to thank each and every one of you. Thank you to all those on Facebook. Thank you to all those looking through the website. Thank you to all those who are live with me here right now. I am absolutely grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for your shares and your comments. I ask if you would please invite someone to follow my page and maybe share the show with someone. Maybe invite someone to come along next time, right? I just want to thank you again for your donations and your tips so that I can continue to bring you more content. I also want to remind you about Sofa Songfest on Wednesday nights at 7:30, and this time I will be doing it with my daughter. with my daughter Deidrey. So we're doing Soul Sisters, and I apologize that I wasn't able to do that last week. So I'm just so grateful, so grateful that we will be able to do it this week. So my daughter will be with me. Woohoo! Sofa Song Fest at 7:30. Pardon me, I have a little tickle in my throat. And of course, next Sunday at 1:30 for another episode of Here to Bloom Live. And if this episode touched you in any way, I'm just grateful. If you would leave a comment underneath all of your live, instead of putting your comment in the live feed, if you would leave a comment under the video, that would be so awesome. I just want to give special thanks again to Anthony Burbidge and Eddie Watkins. And there's a special episode, by the way, there's a special episode next week. And because I will be speaking at Unity York Region. And so I'm really super excited about that. They will be hosting an episode of Here to Bloom. So I will be there, and so we'll share some of that with you next week as well. So I am super excited! Yay! Okay, what else is there? Did I forget anything? Who knows? Well, anyway, I just want to say that I'm grateful to each and every one of you. Thank you for your love. Thank you for everything. I just love you. You know that? Do you know that? Do you? Well, I do. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you. Thank you, Dolphin. Thank you, Jade. Hi, Jade. Thank you, Perry. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, Dolphin. Thank you, Ann. Thank you. I know I'm missing a bunch of people. Thank you to everyone. Renewed and rebuilt. I've got a song in my heart. Jordan's my part. I am on cloud 9, one with the divine. Got a smile on my face, and I'm ready to face the world. It's been all woohoo! Oh my goodness, yay! I gotta tell you, I do have a goal of reaching 300 subscribers by the end of the week. Can you help me reach that goal? If you are able to, send it to somebody. Help me reach my goal for this week, 300 subscribers on YouTube. If you're able to, I would really appreciate it. Oh my gosh, I'm getting there. So grateful to each one of you. Love you so much. Mwah. Love you. Take care, okay? Have a good week. And let me know how your week's going. Okay? Check in sometime with me. Let me know what you felt about the show. I would love your feedback. It means so much to me. I'm ready, here I come. Oh yes, oh yeah. Oh Tina and Lori, Estela and Dolphin and Mary and Dana. Oh, I'm ready, here I come. On Facebook and on my website. I'm ready, I'm thankful, I'm grateful. Love you. Okay, see you next week. Bye, everybody. Bye.